it forward, now more so with my mentorship and in the future with financial support, because I really believe in mentorship, and I know that I would not be standing here without people who believed in me. Thank you all.
Is a member of the Grace Church here and has been attending here since her family moved to Minnesota from the Democratic Republic of the Congo. She's now a junior at Gustavus Adolphus College. Her father created an organization called Let Africa Live about 20 years ago to help children suffering from the civil war in the DRC to get reintegrated into civil society. After high school, Ingrid worked at the LAV, and she is committed to returning to the DRC, Democratic Republic of the Congo, to advocate for social justice. I'd like to read the plaque for her. It says, the Hawkinson Fund especially recognizes Ingrid's commitment to improving the lives of child victims of war in the Democratic Republic of the Congo by addressing the underlying causes of war, ignorance, and poverty. Congratulations.
Good afternoon. I'd like to thank the Hawkinson Foundation for giving me a chance to be one of the 2019 scholarship recipients. This scholarship will not help me pay my education, but will help me pursue what I'm passionate about, social justice. When I left my country and came to the United States in 2016, I thought I left behind what I'm passionate about, social justice. But this scholarship will help me work harder on it. I know this scholarship will not only help me pay my tuition, but will also help me gain confidence and competence to help others. After graduation, I am planning to use my international relations and communication studies skills to work with international companies and organizations. I want to thank my family for their ongoing support, Steve Solberg for writing my letter of recommendation, the Grace University Lutheran Church, Gustavus Adolphus, and everyone who is contributing and continue to have the Hawkinson Foundation to move forward. One of my favorite African proverbs says, one hand cannot beat the drum because it always needs help from the other hands. And the Hawkinson Foundation is being the other hand that helps us moving forward and accomplish social justice work. Thank you.
E. Ornelas is a PhD candidate in feminist studies here at the U. E. held leadership positions at the university's Gender and Sexuality Center for Queer and Trans Life. E. has also led efforts to connect incarcerated transgender people, or largely people of color, with support outside of prison. The Hawkinson Fund especially recognizes E.'s strong personal commitment to pursue restorative justice in response to gender-based violence and to improve public understanding of gender-based classifications on LGBTQN+ communities. Congratulations.
Thank you all, and good afternoon. I'm going to be brief because I'm a little bit nervous, but I want to thank you all, and I want to thank the Hawkinson Peace and Justice Scholarship Committee, especially to Stan for being so supportive and communicative throughout this process. And I'm just like blown away right now. I'm really honored and humbled to be amongst all these other amazing recipients. My work has been, both inside and outside of academia, my work has been focusing on how punishment through policing and prisons really negatively impacts queer and trans people, specifically people of color. And really I focused on working towards restorative justice rather than sort of punitive models of justice. I think that these are populations and concerns that are often overlooked and actively dismissed, again, both inside and outside of academia. And so I think receiving this award feels especially impactful. It just feels really rewarding and very, it just feels like this is actually taken seriously. So I greatly appreciate the support of the scholarship so that I can continue this work in the future. Hopefully, I believe, in the spirit of the impassioned troublemaking that we heard about earlier. Thank you all.
I'd like to conclude my comments by explaining that when we ended the foundation and became a dedicated fund here at Grace Church, we made the change to revert to our original approach from 30 years ago, which was to rely upon volunteer labor. We're doing this to keep our expenses as low as possible, and we also plan each year to pay out nearly all of our income from the prior year as scholarships for the next year. And that is how we have paid for the scholarships that we have awarded today and for last year. In other words, since becoming a fund of Grace Church, we have had sufficient money to provide the scholarships to the people that have been awarded them today. If you like how we're using your contributions to make these scholarships available, please do one of two things. Give us money so that we can continue awarding these scholarships. Or you can donate your time by volunteering to help us operate the Hawkinson Fund. We need lots of volunteers, and we'll spend your money wisely on the next generation of leaders. Thank you.
It has been, I think I can safely speak for all of us, just a thrill to hear each of you speak. My goodness, I am just amazed and awed. I also know that each one of you stands on the shoulders of someone else. And if you have family, friends, whoever who have been of support to you, I invite you all to stand at this point so we can honor those on whose shoulders you stand. Please stand if you have been. In your pew is a red book, and I invite you to open it up to the hymn section toward the back and turn to 721. 721. And if you look near the bottom, you'll see a name that is no stranger to peace and justice. Desmond Tutu, arguably one of the most memorable and important troublemakers for peace in the last century. This hymn is one of his prayers or writings set to music by John Bell of the Iona community of Scotland, which is an ecumenical community of social peace, social justice and peace. I'm going to invite Pastor Mary to play this, and we'll sing it once through. I'll sing kind of loud through the microphone here so you can hear the tune, but sing along with me, especially as you know it, and then we're going to sing it again. So Archbishop Desmond Tutu's Goodness is Stronger Than Evil. Pastor Mary?
Stronger than
insert a story there, it just came to mind. Not long ago, Pastor Dan Garnis of Grace and I were visiting about, Dan, can I dare say, the good old days way back when in civil rights in the 60s, and how as we gathered to march, we chanted, as the chanting still happens, but there was some memorable stuff of almost a call and a response. And as I hear Tutu's words, I can envision gathering in South Africa where one side or one crowd is calling out, goodness is stronger than evil, and across the way comes the response, love is stronger than hate. And so I envision us, this will be side one, goodness is stronger than evil, you will be side two, love is stronger than hate, and we aren't disagreeing, we're emphasizing different aspects of this social justice fight that we're engaged in. The same with the second line. Over here, you will say, light, sing, light is stronger than darkness. The other side, life is stronger than death. And then we sing together. Okay, Pastor Mary, you got it? The first phrase of each line here, the second phrase over here. Let's sing. Goodness is stronger than evil, love is stronger than hate, love is stronger than darkness, life is stronger than death. Everyone, victory is ours, victory is ours, victory is ours, victory is ours. Thank you for lending your voice, your passion, your enthusiasm for this important work. I now welcome Mary Lou Ott, who received the 2005 Hawkinson Honorary Award. And Mary Lou is coming forward to introduce our 2019 Honorary Award winner.
Good afternoon, everyone. I need to start by making it very clear that I did not win that award on my own. My husband and I won that award together, God bless him. So I need to make that very clear. You know, the words that I want to say are not, I don't want them to be my words, I didn't. So I thought, what will I do? So I thought, I'll go to Char's Sisters of St. Joseph of Carondelet and order that Char has been a member of for 67 years. And I'll talk to her friends and see what we can come up with. And her friends had so many wonderful words for her. I asked for anecdotes and stories and adjectives, particularly because Charlotte was an English teacher in her early days. I thought that might be appropriate. And so I went over to Carondelet and I talked with friends over there. And one friend said something that really moved me. And she said that Charlotte, because of her really intense study and understanding of feminist theology, she changed the culture of the order. And I thought, oh my, that's an amazing thing. Carol Houselander, who wrote Rocking Horse Catholic, said that living nonviolently is seeing the connections in our lives and acting on them. And that's your story, Char. That's who you are. You started out at St. Stephen's and immediately you saw the plight of poor, particularly poor women, abused by the system. And you and Rita Steinhagen opened up St. Joseph's House on Portland Avenue, a home, safe home for women. And Charlotte lived up in the attic, and she had a bedroom in the attic and an office in the attic, and she used to spend time looking out the window. And she'd say to herself, I wonder what I can do to change this neighborhood, because it was filled with homes that had a lot of drug dealing going on, and they were owned mostly by absentee landlords. So, because of Charlotte's gift for writing and her connection with people, she was able to raise funds to rehab homes, and from there, she co-founded what is known as HOPE, which is Homes on Portland Enterprise. I knew Charlotte at that time because her friend, Rita Foster, said to me in 1979 when I asked, she said, yes, of course they need volunteers over there. And I called Charlotte and I went to work at St. Joseph's House. And so Charlotte saw the homes being rehabbed and filled with families. And that wasn't enough. She built what's known as the Commons. And then she realized that it needed more. So on the corner of Portland Avenue and Franklin you'll see a large apartment building and a sign that says the Hope Community Incorporated. And it means hope, but it also means Homes on Portland Enterprise, was how it began. And by doing that, she's made jobs available for people and built community, even your own words today, that the antidote to violence